an organizer, and may now speak to any other organizers or panelists on the line.
Greetings, my friends.
Start broadcast button on the GoToWebinar control panel.
We got about 200. I'll show you.
This system will notify
It's about 200. I don't know if that shows. I don't even know how to show that, but we got about 266 registered in less than 12 hours, so that's an honor. Thank you for that. Shani, I'm going to print this off. We're just going to get technically ready to roll here for a second, everybody, so just chill. And I'll print this off for my Facebook Live peeps. Shani, how do you print this on here?
Yep.
Print?
Yeah.
This the right printer?
Yeah.
All right. And let's see, we got peeps over here. We got starting broadcast. We're going to get live and right into it right away. Byron, it's good to see you guys. Thanks for coming out so impromptu. So primarily, I have a couple hundred people, 260 people registered on a webinar. So those of you on the webinar, raise your hand if you can hear me and see me on the webinar. You're on Facebook Live, so we're laughing over here. Amparo, Heidi Black, Ari, good seeing you guys. Tori Cox, great, oh my gosh, high school flashbacks. Having good times over here. All right, let me see over here. I'm manning a couple stations. Feel like Star Trek.
It was double-sided.
No, it's fine. It's fine. All right, so we're going to get into this party. And it's really about vision. And I'm going to give it just one more minute while I make sure my life is situated with the attendees over here. So if you can see me, let me make sure. Are we live? I'm not showing anything. All right. Webinar people, good morning. Happy Saturday. Happy Super Solomon Saturday. And raise your hand if you can see me. I'm wearing a white shirt. I'm wearing a jade necklace my buddy Jason got me. And Tom, nice to see you. Rich Miller, good to see you guys. Lots of love out there. I appreciate all the support on the GoFundMe, by the way. We've had over 500 people donate, and it's been really, really wild. And the Solomon content that we have kind of started releasing is going ballistic. And let me show you what I mean by that. This is my inbox. And what you'll see is every time it says new limitless registration. So all these that say, oh, wait a minute, Invisible Empire, these are new people registering for either Solomon or our limitless game. And you can see it's all day, constantly, hundreds and hundreds of people. So super cool. But today we are here to talk about adding and enhancing more vision into your life. So if you're, Layla, great seeing you. So if you're ready to do it, everybody can see me over here in the land of Cybertown. All right, so enough on everything except for you. Let's stick to the heart of the matter. All right, so thanks for showing up short notice. I'm really pumped. Here we go. First question. We are going to rock out of an ancient oracle. King Solomon says, where there is no vision, the people perish. Okay? So the first question, and this is going to be kind of workshoppy. So everybody raise your hand if you get that this is going to be kind of interactive. And it'll be like a tennis match. And what you don't want to do is have me firing 100-mile-an-hour tennis serves at you the whole time, hitting you in the head, just getting nailed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to volley. And this is a volley back and forth. So everybody raise your hand, give me a heart, give me a like if you get that this is a volley. I'm going to volley you guys stuff because the purpose isn't for me to share. The purpose is for me to share, for the ears to hear, and for it to trigger action and trigger integration. And I think my promise to you is when you add vision, let's just get into it. So he says, where there's no vision, the people perish. So the first word I want to deal with is where. Okay? Where. Where there is no vision, the people perish. My where question is, where do you want enrichment, joy, order, and blessing? Where in your life is lacking? Shannon, you're scaring me down there.
Good.
All right, are we live?
Yeah.
All right. Jeez, I got this little like troll down here. She's like, what's that goblin on some scary movie? Shannon, give me some more books. I want to go higher here. But anyway, whatever it is. So here's the misnomer. Here's the big miss when it comes to vision. People think that vision is a singular thing. That, my vision, the purpose I have is to help, divorced women, or the purpose that I have is to help animals, or the purpose I have is to raise entrepreneurs. Well, that's a really one-dimensional, boring life to have vision for, in my opinion. Give me a like or a love or something like that. Like, if your purpose is to write insurance policies, and that's it, and to protect families through writing insurance policies, there's just a lot of vision. There's a lot of life that is outside of writing insurance policies. And you're going to have a very dull, a very boring, a very non-dimensional, a very cardboard life unless there is an itemized life that is loaded with vision in separate areas. And so the first question is, where is there no vision? So if your marriage is just on the rocks, or your marriage is boring, or your marriage in your heart, your marriage could use a lift. Your marriage could use some spice. That is where you start adding vision. Now I'll show you how to add vision here in a second. But do you get the idea? If the marriage is struggling, let's buy some marriage books. Let's go to a marriage retreat. Let's write an ideal marriage thing together. Let's sit down together, watch a YouTube video on how to have a better marriage, and have a conversation about it. You see, marriage, for me, Shannon and I have never used the actual divorce word, but we've probably had 3 or 4 times over 15 years where separation for a time was a very, very, very desirable idea. It was a beautiful, desirable idea. The marriage needed vision. The only reason we're married is our vision for our marriage. So we constantly buy magazines. How to have a better marriage. How to have a more sexually charged marriage. How to have this, how to have that. Because marriage is a value that we place vision around. Okay? Now let's say your environment, your habitat, your house, your work environment isn't inspiring you. It doesn't edify you. You wake up and it doesn't move you. It's not an environment that moves you. Well, they've done the studies with the rats. They've done the studies where if you take a rat or a mouse and put it in a cage that just has the circle thing, food and water, and then you take a rat and you put it in a there's mazes, there's slides, there's this, there's that, there's all these different functionalities. The gray matter and the density in the brain of the mouse expands. It actually becomes a smarter, more cultured mouse. Some of our homes are so disinteresting that our brains just sit there. They don't do anything. Our brains don't grow. We're not in stimulated environments. And so with your home, with your habitat, if you could take I call it wanding, it's like a joke. I don't believe this, like at any Harry Potter level or something. But if there's a place in your house that's just kind of annoying, okay, hear me. This place in your house is annoying. It's a corner, it's a closet, it's a room, it's just annoying. I've done this many times with really satisfactory results to me. I come to a corner of my house. It's not doing it for me. It's drabby. It's just not doing it. So what I do is I go like this with my right arm across here, and like a windshield wiper, I call it a magic wand, but I don't pretend I'm actually doing any magic. I go like this, and it's like before, after, and it's almost like the magic wand wands across, and then I see it optimized. I see that area optimized. Now, as corny as that sounds, I've done it a few different times, and it's allowed me to really make some corners of our house cool, some ceiling, or not some ceiling, but some walls on our house cool. But here's the thing, where is there no vision? If you're up 25 pounds and you're up $25,000 a month, but you're also up 25 pounds, there's possibly just a lack of vision and a lack of value around your vitality and your health and your weight. Okay? Give me love if this makes sense. So where is there no vision? Where there is no vision, the people perish. And it's not just the people, it's us. Primary individual vision is the leader of the whole show. A lot of people want to go change the world. They want to do this, they want to do that, but they won't help mom do the dishes, and they won't do anything for themselves, but they really want to change people. They have a great heart for animals, but they hate their aunt. They have a great heart for this, but they're terrible business people. Where is there no vision? Wherever you wave that magic wand of vision, there will be life. There shall be life. This is an oracle. This is an inheritance. I am not Harry Pottering a magic spell here. I'm giving you the Word of God, which I believe is inspired. And I believe hearing it resonates with our inner being made in God's image. And what we do is we hear this, we resonate with it, we know it's true, and it begins activating vision. So is your marriage lacking zest, lacking enrichment, lacking joy, lacking order, lacking blessing? Throw vision and activity around it. Is your home, Is your home better for your gray matter or worse for your gray matter? I want you to think of the mouse. Is it an interesting place to be, or is it not an interesting place to be? Is it visually exciting or not? At the end of the night, every night, I take my shower and then I have a chair. I spent 2 years looking for this chair. It's a beautiful leather chair that's got a high back, kind of got it for cigar smoking, but it's tall enough so my entire head can lean back comfortably. I have a hand-carved, beautiful giant, it's probably 8.5 feet to 9 feet tall bookshelf that was hand carved in India, that's loaded with unique colors. It's loaded with books and gifts that I've gotten from people all around the world. And at the end of the night, I have this really cool like orb light, and I sit there and I read, and it's a cool environment. I have instruments from Africa. I have box instruments that I don't even know where they're from. I have bells. I have a stimulating environment, and my kids will come around and they'll play the drums and they'll play the bells. And I have vision for that corner though. Okay? Now your business, let's get to the business part real quick. Oh, I'm not recording this. Is anyone on GoToWebinar recording this, by the way? Raise your hand if you're recording this. I forgot to record it, and I really wanted to. So I just lowered my hand here. Anybody out there in GoToWebinar land recording? Usually people do. But, well, at least we got it on Facebook Live. What are we going to do? All right, so your business. Now, here's the beautiful thing about a business. A business in a perfect world, it's the collision of two dreamers. It's the collision and the colliding, the marriage, the integration of two dreams, of two visions coming together. For instance, skiing is arguably one of my favorite things in the world. There is somebody who has a mountain, a cooperative. Their vision is to create an idyllic alpine vacation for people who like to ski. A world-class one out in Whistler. I love Whistler. I go to Whistler every year. This year's going to be tricky because I'm just still in a walker. So it'll be tough to make this season, which has been very interesting for me. But anyway, their dream is to create a world-class resort. My dream is to attend a world-class resort. You have collision. Give me love or likes or raise your hand if that makes sense. We have collision. Now, when it comes to Solomon, for many people, they're interested in Solomon. For many people, they want to have perfect congruence with their heart values and the work they do in the world. They want to have perfect congruence, meaning they don't want to sell something that their cellular heart, their spiritual heart goes, that's not that good of a deal. So what happens in a perfect business scenario, a lot of people want to have congruence to get wealthy. So my clientele generally has an inbuilt desire for more. They're independent people who they can have jobs and they can make okay money at jobs, but they're still chasing their tail. They're still chewing their hand. They're not content because they were meant to be independent. And even though they're making money, freedom and independence is really their MO. All right? That's really what they're after. And so they have to have that or they go a little crazy. But they also want to have heart integrity. And for a lot of people, they value the Bible. About 9 out of 10 Americans have an assent to the Bible, whether it's perfectly authoritative or them or not. They have an assent at some level of honor to that book. And so when I created Solomon, it was out of my own quest to find integrity in becoming wealthy and prosperous, to find a biblical ethic that made sense, that wasn't heresy, that was true, that my freedom, that my prosperity was blessed by God, that His hand was upon me, blessing me, teaching me how to profit. I know that there are tens of thousands of people that don't have that belief. So they throttle their earning because their vision for what is appropriately wealthy is based on it's just based on stuff they've picked up here and there, like a garbage cleaner. So Solomon is a concentrated prosperity course that teaches how to liberate the heart to pursue your God-given potential and calling and prosper to whatever level God would have you prosper, which I promise you, if you gave yourself over, would shock the shit out of you. What you're capable of, that's my version of Thomas Edison's, if you did all the things you were capable of, you'd astonish yourself. Mine is, if you gave yourself over to God, you chuck the shit out of yourself on how much you could achieve. You would achieve. It's unbelievable. All right, so your business, but is it lacking revenue? Is it lacking customers? Is it lacking soul? Is it lacking fun? Is it lacking zest? You've got to surround that thing with vision again. You've got to write your perfect, get enough distance where the stress is away. So pretend it's 3 years away. What's your ideal business life look like 3 years away? See, that's what I did. I told myself my dream was to be surrounded by knowledge, and if you look around, I guess I think I'm around 600 books now, and I love them. I just love these books. I got a library upstairs. I got a library in my bathroom. That's actually pretty cool. I'll show someday. But with business, get to a live conference. Get mentored. Read stuff. Listen to podcasts of wealthy people. This adds vision. Write down what it is that you want. Your hobbies. If your hobbies have atrophied to nothing, and these are some of the things that move us like nothing in the world. When you're in your music, when you're creating your music, that's when you're in flow. The world dissipates. Or when you're painting, that's when your cerebral brain, it just elevates. You almost feel like you're in a spiritual cloud painting. Or if you're boating, like sailing, and sailing's your thing, motorcycling is your thing, whatever your thing is, if you threw more vision around that, you would find, I would guess, and what I did was I threw so much vision around my hobbies that I realized they were going to cost me so much money, I had to make a lot more in my business, which inspired me more in my business so I could fulfill my hobbies. Because when I'm on top of a glacier in the Canadian Rockies, I just had handmade waffles at the top of this glacier. I've got a Red Bull pumping through me, and I'm overlooking literally a glacier, and I'm about to drop into it skiing. That's not cheap, okay? I've got to have some of the best gear in the world. I've got to fly to Canada. I've got to stay. I've got to, all these things. The hobbies aren't cheap. Reignite your hobbies, and all of a sudden your earnings, like if you have a trip 2 or 3 weeks away, you'll find yourself hustling harder than you ever could, so you have extra cash and you can genuinely enjoy your vacation. All right, so where there is no vision, the people perish. So my opening question is the word where. Where is there no vision? Your relationship with your spouse sucks, so there's no vision there. Your relationship with your kids are struggling, there's just not vision. That's what's lacking. No vision equals death. It equals a perishing. It equals a squandering. And personal leadership is the start. Now, what really gets cool is this assumes that you're going to be a leader. This assumes that it's not just about our personal satisfaction and fulfillment. This assumes there's a people. That's plural. It's bigger than the family. This was written to young Israel who are going to be future kings and queens, leaders of the marketplace, leaders in entertainment, leaders in fashion, leaders in business. And it was assumed that there would be companies, apprenticeships, internships, and that we would be leading people as part of our calling. As part of the transition of life. In our 20s, we get led. In our 30s, we still kind of get led. In our 40s and 50s, we got to be leading. And then in our 60s and 70s, that's when we're passing that on, watching others lead others. It's a 3-act play. Some say life, and I got this from Jane Fonda on Super Soul Sunday with Oprah, but life is a 3-act play. 0 through 30 is character development, figuring out who are the characters in my life. Your husband shows up by then, your kid shows up by then, your family's there. This is Act 1, and the big question is, what am I to do? Who am I? What am I to become? Act 2, 30 to 60, is I now am figuring out how, as I'm flicking the world off, what am I to do? It turns into I'm doing it. I'm conquering it. I'm taking dominion. I'm fulfilling my calling. I'm in the midst of it. I'm in the war. I'm in the mountain. I'm in the jungle. I'm in the marketplace. And that's 30 to 60, and then 60 to 90. That's the passing of the legacy to the next generation. We take our cumulative wisdom, we pass it. This is the 3-act play of life. Now, a sidebar, little 30-second commercial. Very few of us are preparing for Act 3, which is retirement. And if you don't have a retirement solution that you're thrilled with and you're in the U.S., just thrilled with. Like, you're happy, you're excited, you're so excited about what you're doing with retirement that you're sharing it with others volitionally with no incentive. If you're interested at all in learning what I do with my entire family, my parents, my best friends, many of my top business friends, I have something called King's Life, and it's the Rockefeller retirement formula. I've been working on it for about 2 years. And if you're interested in it, just in the comments below, or if you're on the webinar, just put in the comments King's Life, or here King's Life, or here King's Life. And we'll follow up with you and we'll show you some videos of what we do. We learned it from the Rockefellers. The Rockefellers did it. I say, well, they still do it 6 generations later. It's a primary strategy. And find peace there for Act 3. But that's another story. So that was part 1. Where there is no vision, the people perish. So the first question is, where is there no vision? For instance, if you don't have vision for your Act 3, you're not going to bother with the big retirement. That's your future self. See, my vision for my Act 3 is to be able to travel the world. I plan on having seed. My kids, I don't know where they're going to live. I hope a couple want to live by us, but I don't think they all will. And they're going to have grandkids. My vision is to be able to, any second I want, go to the college that they're in New York or in California or wherever they're at in Europe and this and that, meet them for 2 days, meet them for lunch, anywhere in the world. Take them on the family ski trips when they're young and they're married and they don't have much money. I want to be the guy who rents the 20-person oceanfront thing in Hawaii for the whole frickin' tribe. Now, if I don't have vision around that, I'm going to be happy with my Social Security check. Raise your hand if you catch what I'm saying on the webinar. I've been too neglectant to my webinar attendees today. Oh, and you guys are so great, and there's so much action on here. I see you guys. Jean, Pierre, Krista, Jim, Sandra, Christy, Arthur, Bob, Becky, Alana, Melissa, Gail, Pedro, Virginia, Aura, Ryan, Michelle, just all of you. I even have some hometown love on here. Thank you, guys. All right. So, if you're on the webinar, raise your hand if you're ready to go to part 2. Part 2 is the next question, which is vitally important to adding vision. So if you're ready over here, put yes, throw me some up signs, some thumbs, like let's keep going. This is the volley. But I've been asking you, where? And you can write down, where do you lack vision? So where there is no vision, the people perish. Where is there no vision? That, I guarantee, we can point at it, and it's suffering. If you don't have vision for your finances, I can tell you what they're going to be. If you don't have vision for your health, usually you can tell you what it's going to look like. If you don't have vision for your house, the whole world can see it. If you don't have vision for your fashion, for your appearance, the world isn't blind. They can see you. If you don't have vision for your music, it suffers. So where is there no vision? Just the awareness and the intention to throw vision at it is what moves everything forward. So, number 2. Where there is no vision, the people perish. So in part 1, we looked at the word where. Like, where is lacking vision? Little part 2 here is where there is no vision. I want to work with the word vision. The people perish. The word vision is a futuristic. Write this down if you're doing this. The idea of a vision in this context is where there's no vision, the people perish. The vision is a futuristic, inspired reality. So it's not yet happened. It's futuristic. And it assumes in these oracles of King Solomon that it's inspired prophecy. We translate it vision. because it's easier for the people to understand. But what it really means is a divinely inspired idea. So where there is no futuristic inspired reality to work toward, the people perish. Why? Because we were not meant to live in this moment only. We are in many ways, we process our life in a trinity. We process our past as we live in our present, as we hope in our future. These are three distinct, unique deals that if we really get good at all three of them, it rounds out our personality, it rounds out our philosophy on life. See, if we just live in the moment, it's called existentialism. You don't prepare for the future, and you don't learn from the past, because existentialism is, hey, la 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 la, live for today. Well, tomorrow does come. Do you see what I'm saying? So here's the thing. Vision, scripturally, means a futuristic inspired reality. Now, the word vision, by its nature, is visual. The idea is sight. We tend to be visual learners. And where is there no vision? Where do you want more enrichment? Where do you want more success? Throw visuals around that. Visions and visual are virtually the same thing. Throughout scriptures, when someone falls asleep and they have a vision, they don't have a bunch of black. They don't have a black blank mind where they imagine things, but they don't see them. They say, I saw a white horse and a man standing with bronze feet. And I saw an angel who stood as tall as a building. They see things. So your vision for your business, you have to see your organization at 10,000. I saw, one time I was jogging, and I saw 20,000 people jogging next to me. And what was cool was they were jogging not behind me. We were jogging this way, like a giant conveyor belt. And within 6 months, I had 19,000 affiliates. 19,000 affiliates. And I had a vision of 20. And then shit hit the fan. It didn't happen. I wasn't leading them. They were with me. It was a visual. It was very real, and every step I kept looking and go, damn, this is a lot of people. When I was a kid, I was walking, we had a mile, about a quarter of a mile country road from the mailbox to the house. The bus would drop us off. Both hills uphill, both ways, snow, everything. And I looked out in the field, in the grain field, and I saw tens of thousands of people. The grain turned into people, and it was as far as I could see. And I was 5 years old. It was a vision. It was really a premonition. I didn't even create it. I believe it was a premonition. It was a drop. It was a divine hint of my future. Now here's the thing. If you're taking notes, treat your inspiration with respect. Treat it with respect. It may be a test. You get dropped a vision, and in that vision, your greatness manifests. And you'll see other people's greatness manifest around you. And you'll feel like better than you are, bigger than you were. Sometimes it happens when you're listening to a podcast or you're at a live conference or you're talking to somebody who's super inspiring. It's a divine snapshot of what you can become. If you do not take that tiny little seed and hold that thing, this world will chew your ass for breakfast. Your parents will cut you down. Your spouse will cut you down. Work will cut you down. TV will cut you down. You're done. Treat your inspiration with respect. When you get an idea and you can see something, find kernels of that idea to hold on to and run with. This is powerful stuff. Okay, if you're getting value, raise your hand or do something. Or like, give me a high five or whatever you do. I appreciate it. So here's the short story with this though. What visuals can aid in being able to see this new reality before it manifests? Thank you for all the love over here. Thank you for the love over here. It's lots of love over here. More hearts over here, more thumbs over here. I'm not sure how to take it, but I'll take it. Ty Tribble, good to see you. Teresa Key, love you so much. Michael, thank you for the comment. I appreciate it. Morales, thank you. Jaime, Jamie, me. But what visuals can help you see it before it happens? Because what is the process of taking an idea into reality? Initially, you see it in your mind, right? Then you can manifest it by writing, dribbling a scribble on paper. It becomes manifesting right there. It actually begins manifesting with the neural pathway that starts forming indelibly in your mind. When you get the vision, here's how you build the vision. This is a little neuroscience for you. The first time you have the thought, there's a neural pathway. It's like a highway. Except it's not yet a highway. It's usually using some basis of knowledge you have, and this isn't spatially correct in the brain. Some bit of knowledge that you have, like you're good at something here, you understand something here, and the vision all of a sudden creates a new link, a new path that never was there. Now this path was never there, and it's just a tiny little, like if you've ever been through the forest and you're like the first one in there trailblazing, the path isn't set up very well. You might not even believe it's a path. But as you replay that path, as you go, I'm going to make something out of this path. You take a mower. Next thing you know, you mow it down. You say, you know what, I'm going to put pebblestone down this path. I'm going to get light posts down this path. And the next thing you know, you have a neurological connection that outweighs all your other neurological connections until that is your new reality. That is where you live. That's what I did. I was an employee. I was broke. I was paycheck to paycheck. I began imagining a connection where I had tens of thousands of dollars, where I could manifest wealth, where I could live where I wanted to live, where I could travel when I wanted to travel, where I could wear better clothes, where I could buy whatever book I wanted, where I was surrounded by the best technology. And I began wiring myself way before it was real, until it was so real it was real. Lots of hearts over here. Raise your hand if you're following me over in webinar land here. But what you can ask yourself is, here's the visuals too. For some, a dream board, they just can't do it. It's a little too third grade arty for them. Some people are great with the dream board, some aren't. I love to wake up and flip through a Rob Report, because Rob Report's the nicest stuff on earth. I like to flip through a men's journal, because men's journal talks about great adventures all over the place, the best gear in the world. And I like, that's my dream board, is magazines. And a lot of times before I study, before I dip into Proverbs or the Bible or anything, I begin filling almost like I'm in the batter's box before I step up to the plate. You know, you swing with 2 bats, or you put some weight on your bat so it's a little heavier. When I'm in the batter's box, I'm preparing my mind for the marketplace. I never wake up and just waltz on over to the marketplace. I don't do that. You deserve better. That's why. You deserve better. I've spent probably 90 minutes in study prior to this. Not prepping for this, but filling myself with inspired thoughts, with vision, with hope. And then I come to the market because that's what I believe my clientele deserves. So woe unto thee that just wakes up and goes to the market, because you know what you're going to find? Customer service problems, complaints, etc., etc. That's going to be motivating. No, it's not. All right, so visually, you can go with the dream board. You can go with writing down your... Writing is great because it's a little more kinetic. It's a little more active than passively looking at something. But you can also, in the movie theater of your mind, your imagination, in my opinion, is God's greatest gift to us. Greatest non-material. Christ is his greatest gift to us. But I believe our imagination is the greatest inbuilt divine gift we have. Because it involves we can do anything with it. We can do anything with our imagination. So you can see it in the theater of your mind, and then even deeper, emotionally see it. Emotionally see it by feeling the achievement in advance. Don't just look at what you want. Don't just pretend. Don't just pretend that your company has grown to 5,000 people in the organization, or don't just pretend that the income has risen to a certain spot. Don't just look at a number and drill that number into your mind. Feel the relief. Feel the sense of accomplishment. Borrow from your future. That's what faith is doing. Faith is borrowing, saying, I am certain it's going to happen. So I'm going to relax already because I know it's going to work out. Because I'm going to work it out. Not that it's going to work out. I'm going to work it out. Feel the lack of guilt about procrastinating on your ideas. Feel that go away. Feel that kind of gnawing, dull, what am I doing with my potential? What am I doing with my life? Feel that deep level metaphysical question that's just ugly. Feel it wash away. Feel yourself being fulfilled. Feel yourself contributing to other people. Feel hugs on your body of your clients that found your products, your solutions, and it changed their life. Feel their arms on your back holding you for a second. Just a second. Nothing weird. And saying thank you. Feel what it would be like when the mail shows up and there's gifts and 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 gifts. Feel it. Feel what it looks like when you log into your Bank of America and you see $40,000 cash that doesn't have to go anywhere. Feel it. Emotionally feel it. And then audibly hear it. One of the many weight loss guys out there on the web, one of his first things is he has the student of his weight loss thing, and it's a virtual deal, record a script that talks about how I'm getting closer to a six-pack, I'm feeling better, my appetite is craving more fruits, more vegetables, leaner meats, my stamina is growing, I feel more sexy, and it has them speak to themselves, and every day they're to listen to themselves. It's a vision. It's a futuristic thing that hasn't happened yet. They're borrowing from the future that they believe in. And then not as it works, but as they work it out, it manifests. And there they are. In their new reality. Words, hearing the words of the doctors have told me, I have been personally told by Harvard doctors, by professionals of every stripe. When I just did my spine surgery, or I just had I did not do my spine surgery. I was in bed and there was 5 professionals around my bed. And I was in residential rehab, and I couldn't walk, I couldn't do anything. I just got out of surgery. It was a day later. And they said, we want you here for 2 to 3 weeks. And I said, I'd like out by Friday, which was like 4 days, 5 days. And I had 5 people shake their head and go, no one's ever got out after spine surgery that fast. And I said, you tell me what you have to see from me to trust me to get out of here. Because they said, if you leave by Friday, let's just say, and it wasn't argumentative at all. I just said, I really want out by Friday, which was 2 weeks early. And they said, well, but they were all professional. I mean, imagine there was 2 doctors and the rest were like trainees. But they were just shaking their heads. But I said, tell me what you want to see from me. And they said, we got to be able to see you get into a car. We got to be able to see you do this with a walker. We got to be able to see you do this in the bed. We got to be able to see you, do this and this and the other thing. And I said, let's start right now. And I was out of there by Friday. But here's the thing. I did not listen to their vision. I listened to my vision. I listened to my vision, not their vision. Their vision is I would be there for 3 weeks, losing time with my family, sitting drugged up, taking forever. And I said, no. 4 days and I'm out of here. Expedite it. Move me along. But here's my point. Your vision is the one that matters. Not your spouse's, not your dad's, not your mom's, not your brother's. God forbid your brothers. Not your sisters, not your sons, not your daughters. Your vision is the only vision that really, really matters. Because otherwise, you are hostage to something that is inferior to your vision. Now, this doesn't mean you become a rogue and, you can take this too far. So don't take it too far. But I can tell you that you can take it to where it needs to go. And it'll be a lot further than you ever imagined. All right, so what visuals? You get the emotionally feel the achievement, audibly hear it, magazines, dream boards, whatever. And then finally, where there is no vision, we focused on where, like where's there not vision, add vision to it. What is vision? Get visuals around yourself. Feed that visual. Whether it's a seeing visual, hearing visual, feeling visual, start surrounding yourself with that visual. And that visual is of a future reality. Always remember, it's of the future reality. The life you're living right now does not need to be the same as it is next year. You can be in a new place. You can triple your income. You can quadruple your income. You can lose 30 pounds. You can have a new spouse. You can look and feel better than you've ever felt. A year from now, you could have a whole new life. But you have to see it. You have to feed that vision. And finally, where there is no vision, the people perish. Now, the people is plural. And what this kind of means, in a way, is a question that I asked at No Excuses 1 years ago. I should really write a little micro book on it. Whose life, okay, write this down. Write it on your heart. I'd rather have it on your heart. Whose life will be infinitely better because you succeed? Whose life will be infinitely better because you succeed? And there is no shame in starting with my life will be better. My kid's life will be a hell of a lot better. My spouse's life will be better. Those kids I sponsor to camp will be better. Those missionaries I support will be better. Those students I sponsor to foreign, classes and exchange things, their life will be better. My tailor's life will be better. The car dealership salesman, his life will be better because I'll be buying better stuff. Whose life will be infinitely better because you succeed? For some people, you are the requisite stimulus to wake them up. It's in your life alone that can contribute something that is the catalytic converter. It sparks. It's the spark plug. They can see Tony Robbins do it, but he's 7'6" and looks like a giant, and him doing it doesn't work for them. They can see so-and-so power girl do it, but she's so pretty and tall and long-legged that doesn't do it for me. But it could be you in your brokenness, in your weakness, in your struggle, in your story, with your past, with your divorce, with your health condition, with your broken heart, with your sins of the past. You succeeding can be the requisite stimulus for someone to say, I'm going to wake my ass up. She did it, I'll do it. He did it, I'll do it. But no one else has that tipping point in their life. I don't know who it is for you. It's usually a combination of people. There's usually a crowd of people that do that. But you got to go look for them. Find the inspirational people. If this stuff inspires you, stay in it. Stay in it. Log into Solomon. Almost, we have 2,000, 2,500 new Solomon students this last couple weeks. Vision. Vision is what makes it so. If you're looking to place a Facebook ad and it feels like it'd be easier to take a hammer and just chisel out your teeth, just pound your teeth out, you'd rather do that than create a freaking Facebook ad, be easier. When your vision is full and you know the people you're serving, so what is the psychographic of your ideal people? There are people that are perishing online. They're drowning in a sea of information that is disconnected. It's a puzzle that's flipped upside down and they don't even have the visual. Those are part of my people. I know how to step by step take them to selling goods and making thousands of dollars. I've done it thousands of times. There are people that want to succeed online as bad as they want anything on the earth right now. They're perishing without some of our content. There are people right now who want to prosper, who want to be liberated from guilt of success so badly, but they don't have a resource. So for me, they're perishing in a sense. There's a part of them that's dying. There's a part of them, let's not say it's not dying. Let's just say it's not living. There's a part of people that aren't living that our products allow them to live. It allows oxygen to that area of their life. There's no product that does it all, whether it's a pill or a course or anything in between. But there are regions that need blood flow, that need oxygen, that need a massage, that are tense, that are confused. Our products and our services come in as a balm, come in to relieve that curse. Take someone from perishing to breathing. Do you know how powerful it is to be a part of somebody's comeback breathing story? I can breathe again. I can financially breathe again. You know how nice it is to be in that story? You know how nice it is to be that story? I can breathe again. For several years, I couldn't breathe financially. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe. I'm so grateful to the books and the mentors and the friends and the clients that have supported me. They gave me breath. They gave me breath. So you might look and say, where there's no vision, the people perish. Well, I'll feed the people. I'll feed the people. I'll revive the people. The people will be better. Their pain will be diminished. Their relief, their curse will be lessened. But in doing that, they feed you life. That's how you actually are gained your life. That's how you gain your breath. That's how you gain your heart. That's how you define your calling. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, everybody. It's been an hour. It's been great. All of you who put in King's Life, you'll be hearing from myself or one of my financial architects shortly. If you're interested in our Limitless game, you can play 5 levels for free. If you're vibing with any of the stuff that I'm sharing, I want to encourage you to not leave this orbit, because this orbit is feeding you. If you're loving it, if you're like, I can't wait to get the hell out of here, go watch some basketball. But if you're getting fed right now, this is a passive experience, but faith and power comes just by hearing. Just by hearing. The act of hearing this stuff alone has power. But here's what I was going to say about the Facebook ad. If the technicality of putting up a Facebook ad has taken you 2 to 3 years, and it feels like you'd rather bang out your teeth with a knife, cut them out yourself, right? That's how painful it is. When you start answering the question, whose life will be infinitely better because I succeed? Whose life can I bring oxygen to? My product gives oxygen, life, alleviation, hope, joy to what people? What people specifically? The majority of this world are not my people. I'm not called to those people. There's a tiny little portion of people, enough to make me tens of millions of dollars, and enough for my little life to serve. Okay? But when your vision is high, you'll figure out how to place the Facebook ad, because the vision's high. If the vision's low, you're never going to place the ad. If the vision's low, you're going to have way too much fear to be on the phone. If the vision's low, you're not going to take yourself seriously enough to go to the conference. If the vision's low, you're not going to ramp the courage up to talk to the superstar, to get the mentoring you deserve. All right, Mark Hoverson, I love you guys. And if you're interested in getting integrated into some of our product lines, a lot of things are bumping in Planet Hoverson right now, and they're starting to bump. I appreciate all the GoFundMe support. Like I said, we've raised $230-some thousand. I thought we'd do $25,000. I really had no idea at all. Over 2,500 people have given. Shocks the just crap out of me. But here's, give me a heart or a like or raise your hand if you want to hear what I've learned from this GoFundMe about humanity. I learned something really intense about humanity that I'm going to leave you with. I am not going to be getting any I will be getting no medals at the Moral Olympics that I'm aware of. I'm not going to be able to, I'm not getting the gold medal in goodness. Never would have ever gotten it. That's not how I am. seriously flawed guy. You know, I have dyslexia, I have scoliosis, I have cancer, I have a broken back. I have some versions of like ADD, but not clinical. I've had massive anger issues, deep internal crap that I've worked through. But here's what I've learned. I was telling Shannon this the other day, because we've been overwhelmed by just the support of everybody. And we've always been overwhelmed for years. But I think it was when you come to the marketplace and you really just want to help, and you really want to serve people, and you give some soul, you give some heart, you give some prayer, you give some extra into serving other people's dreams, into alleviating their perishing, their curse, into lessening it, into loosening it, massaging it down. That is a form of love, and that is what the world responds to. It doesn't respond to personal righteousness in that sense, in just like personal self-contained righteousness. It's bound up in caring for everybody that you can. Everybody that you're supposed to. I'm not supposed to give everybody the same amount of care. But anyway, what I've learned is if you come earnestly to the marketplace to serve it, the marketplace will reward you far beyond your flaws. Do you hear me? It's okay you're 40 pounds overweight. It's okay you have a learning disability. It's okay you suck at your ACT and your SAT, and it's okay that you're divorced. It's okay you're going to get a divorce next month because things suck. It's okay. You come forward and you serve. You can lose yourself in your business and let this be an area of control for you. Let this be an area that you win in. Maybe you're losing all over the place. Let business be where you win. You got to win somewhere. Let's win here. Not at the sacrifice of any place. But in addition, let's win in business. Let's win together. If you're interested in getting the Limitless, playing the first 5 levels absolutely for free, it's a $1,000 game, but you get 5 levels for free. Just put Limitless below and I'll get back to you. Someone will get back to you. Okay? So, that's all I got. It's been an hour. I love you guys. I appreciate your time. We had 300 plus people involved in this little adventure this morning. And Melinda, I see you're Limitless. The G Mask is watching. Tracy, oh my gosh, speaking of unbelievable person. Melinda, thank you guys. So we're officially over. I'm just going to go through some thanks. Christy, thank you, Christy, for all your support. Mary, oh my gosh, love you. Virginia, great, thank you, Virginia. Right, Melissa, Melinda, Miss Shelley, Corey, thank you. Len Mooney, it's great to see you. Gail, we'll get back with you for sure. Melissa, Becky, yes. Arthur, Christy, Jim, Krista Abbott, great to see you guys. Michael, we'll be getting that. Pat, thanks for the years of support. Lerman, we were just talking about you. Lerman was into Bitcoin 4 years ago. The Tommy G. Peter, Limitless is just something you play. It can't be described. I wish I was telling you it's something else, but I'm not. It's a reality game. Brian, good to see you. Sid, great. Thank you. Sid, hi. Jerry Pittman, I just saw a message in. Appreciate it. All right, that's enough of all this business. Love you guys. Peace. Bye. And if anybody did record on GoToWebinar, let me know. Because it is not recorded. All right, how do I get out of here?